Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Victor again with my Ioniq 5. As you can see from the title of the video, my very first software update with my Ioniq 5 didn't quite go as planned. At the end of the day, I think it boils down to the transfer process from the program to the USB drive. I think somewhere, somehow along the way, something got corrupted and that caused my update to not complete. So that's kind of the short version of it. I have seen someone else report in the forums similar issues. However, for them, they were trying to use an SD card. I was using a typical flash drive. Now, before I jump into all this, I want to make it absolutely clear that I still love my Ioniq 5. Now, I've done videos about dislikes, I've done a video about charging issues, I've done another video about common issues to check for. So clearly I've put out a lot of negative content out there, but in my opinion, this is no different from any first generation car or even a first generation product. Nothing is going to be perfect. Manufacturers learn from their mistakes because owners like us bring to light these kinds of issues. That way the end result is a better product for everybody. So please remember that truthfully and honestly, I love my Ioniq 5. I haven't experienced anything that I would consider a deal breaker, and I would 100% buy this car again, knowing all of the issues that I will experience as an owner. Alright, so let's get to it. What actually happened? Why did it take 6 hours for me to get a software update onto the Ioniq 5? This all started April 28th. That was Thursday afternoon. I was on the forums and I saw one of our awesome forum members posting that the new update had been released, and he posted some great info, some great pictures, so I was excited. I jumped right on it. I followed the steps. I downloaded the program. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the process, you have to go onto Hyundai's website or Kia's website. You have to download the program that's called the Navigator program, and then that program will help you download the actual software update onto your computer. Technically, yes, you can download it directly to a USB flash drive, but most people are downloading it to the computer, and from there you use that program to again transfer it to your USB flash drive. So step 1, downloading the program from the website. That was pretty quick, that was pretty easy, nothing crazy there. Step 2 was actually installing it and then following the prompts and downloading the actual software update using the program. And I want to say that took about 45 minutes. Again, I think that's going to depend on your internet connection, so I did see someone say it was closer to an hour. Some people are maybe less than that. But anyways, after I finished step 2, after I had finished downloading the software update to my computer, I realized I had to call it a night. At that point, it was already around 10 p.m., and I didn't have a USB flash drive that was big enough. The actual file size is around 30 gigabytes. Most people were going with 64 gigabyte flash drives. I'm not sure if 32 gigabytes would work. It might be too small. So just keep that in mind if you haven't bought a flash drive yet. So the following day, we were supposed to fly out to Los Angeles in the afternoon. So I had kind of a work from home day where I was going to be doing some packing, some working, but I had some time in between. So I kind of set aside 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. to go buy the flash drive, get the update going, and kind of do some packing. So that was the plan. I went out, bought a flash drive, and the only one I could find locally was a 128 gigabyte USB 2.0 flash drive. So I know that has slower read and write speeds. Maybe that'll affect some of the times that I'm seeing. But that's pretty much all I could find on short notice. So anyways, I bought the drive, I brought it home, and I started step 3, which is using the program. You plug in the flash drive and it'll prompt you to start the transfer of the software update to your USB drive. Now, this is where something weird first happened. I let it run for about 5 to 10 minutes. Again, I was packing and I would look over, and at the 10-minute mark, I realized nothing had transferred. It said 0%, and it looked like no files had actually moved to the USB drive. Everything was showing 0. So I decided to start the process over. I closed the program, unplugged the drive, and then I started all back up. And when I restarted the program, it asked me if I wanted to resume the session. So without really thinking, I said yes. It prompted me to plug in the flash drive. I did it, and I let it run. And after about an hour, the flash drive was ready. And it said ready. I unplugged it. Step number 4, I took it to the car. Again, followed the steps. I actually had it set up to update with the car turned off. You'll see you have a couple options with either the car on, running it in the background, or with the car off. And I chose the off option. Then I pressed OK, and then I proceeded to do a preparing system for update, something like that. That step, I feel like, took about half an hour. I came back, and I saw that it was prompting me to install a audio system update, and it said it would take 25 minutes. So I said okay, I let it run, and I came back around the 30-minute mark, and then I saw the infotainment system actually shut off and then turn back on. So I thought, oh, I guess perfect timing. I must have caught it right when it was finishing up. Then it turned back on, and then all of a sudden I saw the very same page. It said audio system update. And I thought, well, maybe it's a different file. So I said okay, and then all of a sudden it ran the preparing the system update again, which, like I said, took another 25-30 minutes, and then it prompted me again to press OK, saying it would take 25 minutes from that point on. So I let it run again. And this repeated, I think, 1 or 2 times more, and in the back of my mind I was thinking, that's weird. I'm not really sure what's going on, but I remembered seeing on the forum someone said, well, it's actually 5 separate systems that are being updated. So I thought, okay, well, maybe it's just 5 different systems being updated. Maybe the file names are the same. I don't know. So at that point, I turned the car back on, and I tried to check the software version numbers, and I could tell nothing had changed. These were the exact versions that I was seeing before I tried to update the car. So at that point, I kind of ran out of time. I needed to go pick up my son, so I pretty much left everything and did what I have to do. And then in the afternoon, I had about an hour of time left before we needed to go, maybe 45 minutes. And I thought, what the heck, I'll give it one more shot. So I plugged the drive back in, and I ran it. And this time, I actually got a screen that says file corrupted. So I thought, so that's pretty much it. I've been wasting my time because there's something wrong with the file. But at that point, then I'm not sure, is it the file that was downloaded from Hyundai's website, or was it the file being corrupted while it was being transferred to the USB flash drive? But anyways, I knew, well, that's it. I don't have enough time. We got to go. So I left it, and we started heading to the airport. And about halfway there, my wife starts saying, we got to turn back. I'm feeling really sick right now. My stomach's hurting. And she's not the type to say that. She's one tough lady. But we turned around. As soon as we got back home, she threw up, and that was that. So we canceled our flights. We canceled the airport parking, canceled the rental car. We called her sister and said, hey, we're not going to make it. So there was that whole ordeal. Then I had my son with me, so he's been sitting in the car for a little while. We decided, okay, I'm just going to take you to the playground. And that was kind of it for the evening. We fast for a little bit, and finally my son goes down for bed. My wife goes down to just sleep it off, and now it's finally me in the car again, and it's around, I guess, 9 p.m. So I know, well, the file's corrupt. What do I do? If I start from scratch, that's probably going to be another 2 hours. Or if I start from the halfway point and I trust that the file that I downloaded from Hyundai is okay, then it's only going to take about an hour before I have a flash drive that I can use on the car again. So I went with the shorter time option. I queued up the program again. I had it transfer the file from the computer to the flash drive again. Took about an hour. When it said it was done, I took it to the car. This time, though, I put the car into utility mode before I did anything. Then I plugged in the drive, and I followed the prompts, and then it started the preparing the system for update. And then I came back every once in a while to check upon it, and that's when I noticed, the screens that I'm seeing are very different. Now I'm seeing it saying 1 out of 5, then 2 out of 5, 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5, 5 out of 5. So at this point I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure that was it. This is going to work. And it did. The car successfully updated itself using that flash drive and that file, and we were done. But by that point, you can see it's around 11:30. I spent about 6 hours, maybe even more, fiddling around with the file, with the program, and just trying to get the car to update. So for me, my issue came with the file somehow getting corrupted from the program transferring it to the USB flash drive. So if you run into issues, try that step over again. I've seen on the forums some other Mac owners were having issues where the firewall was actually preventing the download of the actual program from Hyundai or Kia. So there's that issue as well. And then, like I said, I had a USB 2.0 flash drive. That's definitely going to have slower read and write speed, so maybe that played a difference with why I was seeing longer times versus some other people. So maybe try a USB 3 flash drive. But again, I didn't really have that option because this is the only thing that was available to me at the time. So knowing all that, would I recommend the average owner to try the updates themselves? I would still say yes. I feel like the average person who spent time with computers and done some basic computer updates, they should be able to handle this process. I just happened to run into a fluke, and at least for me, I have some tech background. I did some IT work coming out of college. I also used to do quite a bit of gaming, and I built some computers, so I know my way around software and hardware enough to try to diagnose the issue. But if you don't want to, just take it to the dealer. I don't think it's that big of a deal. It just, again, took it a lot longer than I was expecting, and it was just a long day or a long couple days in general. So what about the actual software update itself? Well, I was actually planning to do a video of the updates, but clearly things didn't quite pan out that way. And actually, another YouTuber, the Ioniq guy, has a great video out there, so check his out if you want more details. But at least for me, well, clearly, unfortunately, there is no over-the-air updates yet, and it was not included in this update. So Hyundai, Kia, please get that out soon. That'll help alleviate a lot of these issues. But otherwise, I think it was good. I think Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, we already had split screen, but they really increased the functionality of it, of being able to use things that we want to use in split screen. And beyond that, the radio, that one I'm kind of sad about. I actually liked that vintage light bulb filament look. Now you have cover art, which is helpful, but I thought the old light bulb look was really cool. Something that was brought up was that the 360-degree camera stitching was improved, and at least for me personally, I don't really remember taking that close of a look at it, and even the before and afters, I can't say for sure. It really might be improved, but I can't tell. The one thing that I did notice that was kind of surprising, and I haven't seen anyone else mention it, was the clock. So this is one of those Doug DeMuro quirks and features that he would love. Hyundai clearly put out a clock update and pixelized the look of the clock to match the Ioniq 5. And I think that's awesome. It's funny. It wasn't a needed feature, but I think it's really cool. So props to Hyundai. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's why my whole update process took over 6 hours. Hyundai, Kia, if you're watching, please roll out over-the-air updates, because now I understand the importance of them. And as for you guys, if you're watching and you have any issues with your update process, please feel free to reach out. Otherwise, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.